Hey everybody, I'm outside. Finally, we just submitted our grant application, so getting back at it outdoors, and it's really nice. I'm going to show you all what's growing and what we're harvesting for this week. We just planted these summer squash here. It's a green zucchini, 50 feet of that right here in this bed. We've got spinach growing here, probably cut it next week, and some baby kale regrowing. We've got this mustard and Mizuna that y'all are familiar with, regrowing. We've got a new bed of spinach in here, popping up pretty nicely, pretty good germination. Spinach is a tricky one. So it's the same type as this bed, just planted different times. And this one did not germinate as well as this one, so hopefully this is going to be a way denser bed for us. We've got more lettuce here. The head lettuce came out of that bed last week. And then we've got this lettuce here. That's a sort of a loose leaf type lettuce for cutting into salad mixes. This broccolini is growing. We're starting to get a few heads popping up. We might be able to harvest a few of those for the extras table, but not enough for all the boxes yet. We've got some beds flipping. Still working on this one over here. This is a new crop of lettuce coming up. I think this one's second in line. And then the cucumbers are looking great. I just came in as soon as we submitted the application. I came out here, it's so nice to get outside, and I just started pruning them all, pruning off all the suckers. They like to shoot out branches everywhere, and so you got to come in to here and take off every new branch it's trying to shoot up. We want a single leader to go up the string. And then, so I got to come in here, prune off all the little branches that are growing, train them all up the string. Some of them are like already falling off, and we just did it a few days ago. So this is kind of like at least an every other day activity. Prune off all the suckers, twist them up the string, make sure they're looking good, checking for pests and all that. We got those Chioggia beets on this edge, looking pretty good. And then this is the celery. It's looking good as well. Yeah, these cucumbers are awesome. It's real time consuming to put them up the string, but the idea is you get a lot more production. So maybe in the future we go to more like field trellising and kind of let them sprawl, but we want to try this and get as many cucumbers as we can. I just watered this bed real heavily. I'm still watering it by hand. I don't have my drip down yet, so hopefully soon I can string some drip in between these plants and get it automated. But for now I'm still just hand watering or overhead watering. I have the sprinklers too, but when I hand water I try not to get the foliage wet because that can promote disease. So maybe in the morning I would run these, but this was towards the evening time, so I just watered them by hand. I bet you I can find a cucumber. Yeah, there's one forming. It looks maybe a little misshapen on the end, maybe from pollination or water, but you know, sometimes they look like that and then they turn out great. Oh, here's a branch that I missed, so I'll show you. It sends out these little suckers and the whole thing will become like a whole nother plant like this. So it looks like I missed this whole plant. You gotta pinch it off. And I'll switch hands here. Over here. Just snap it off. And then there's the flower, so when those are pollinated they turn into fruit. The flower will drop off and then you get a fruit. Here's one that's forming. Looking forward to cucumbers. We're gonna harvest some of this curly kale this week. It's looking good. It's getting kind of hot for it. So we're gonna harvest it heavy. We might even rip it out after this week, just get one harvest on it and then flip this bed and plant something else. This went through the freeze, so all this foliage is new after the freeze. We ripped all the old damaged foliage off, and this is all regrowth. The bed looks really good towards the back. These ones, some of these are struggling, and it's kind of empty. A lot of these died, so it's not what we like to see out here. We like to see full beds and every single spot producing food. So that's probably why we're gonna rip it out. These plants look good though. Check out that kale. That's fun. These have been great. Been checking them for aphids and stuff. Nothing really going on. It's looking good. We've been having an aphid problem on a lot of the crops, like the lettuce. I'm sure y'all saw some of that. We got our peppers here. Tomatoes and kohlrabi. We've got the Sakura tomatoes here. They're a real nice big cherry tomato, and then these are sun golds, a nice orange cherry. I'm germinating some carrots, carrot seeds, direct seeded under there. If I don't get the tarp, they'll just dry out. They won't germinate. Carrots are tricky. So same thing with the tomatoes, like the cucumbers. I come in here and find the suckers and prune them off. I just did this like 2 days ago, and it's got to be done again. So come in here and snap off those suckers, and then check this out. This guy's already fallen over. I was missing some hardware for my trellises. I gotta attach stuff to those bows and then string the wire up, so I'm just waiting on my little trellis hangers to come in. I'm hoping they come in soon enough where I don't have to do something makeshift on these to hold them up until I get them. We'll see. So here's one that needs pruning. Better to do this earlier in the day so it has time to dry out, and that one didn't snap off very well. It's really not how you want it to happen. A nice clean snap is what you want, so let's see if we can get a clean snap here. There we go. Okay. So you gotta take all those suckers off to grow a single leader. Look at these things leaning over. Gotta get these things up strings. These kohlrabis are forming. We like to plant along the sides of these single row beds because it's a lot of space that's not doing anything if you don't plant anything. So we got kohlrabis on this. Just stuck some basil along this edge, and then we've got head lettuces on that right edge there. Should probably check on the carrots. Nothing yet. I think I need to take the tarp off and re-water the bed. I put the black side up because it was kind of cool, and now it's all hot, so I should probably take the tarp off, water it, flip the tarp around, put white side up, and put it back. That might help. Ara just harvested all the beets out of this bed, so those are going in this box. And we got some onions back there at the end of that bed. Still an open bed here. We'll be planting it soon. That one on the left there. Turnips, carrots, Swiss chard. We're harvesting that Swiss chard this week. That's a new planting of arugula. Looking good. Popped up really fast. And here's a succession of carrots. Kind of sparse. We got some purple carrots growing in the front. Really nice crop of Swiss chard. This will be our first harvest on it this week. I just planted some turnips, more salad turnips in this bed, and in the last half over there is some radishes. And they popped up really nice. I had the tarp on it for a few days. Looking good. Ara's harvesting daikon.
Yep.
These leaves are really nice, but they're super spiny. I don't know if anybody wants them. Snap peas, getting a really nice harvest of snap peas this week. So it should be more than last week. We got some cauliflowers here. This is some parsley. I'm just letting it grow real big because we didn't get germination on it, or very poor germination, so we only have a few plants. But if I let them grow really big, maybe we'll get enough for everybody. And then this is dill. Harvesting this dill this week. It's the second cut on this bed. I'm just trying to squeeze through here without stepping on it. Cauliflowers there to my left. Cilantro there. It's all folded over. That's the one I cut last time. So we've gotten 2 cuts on that bed of cilantro. Probably won't get another cut on it. I've never gotten 3 cuts on cilantro, but everything's getting better all the time here, and it's really looking good on the 3rd regrowth. But I do have a whole nother bed of fresh cilantro coming, so I probably won't do 3 cuts on it. This fennel's starting to take off after transplanting. It's looking good. These are carrots to my left. These will be our next carrot harvest. We'll start harvesting these next week. A few random cauliflower plants there. Ara just transplanted this basil while I was doing a lot of grant application work. It's looking great. 25 feet of basil here. She also planted this, so that other summer squash bed and this summer squash bed. This is a patty pan squash, and about 10% of this bed I think is the same other type as that first bed I showed you. So Ara transplanted these while I was writing the grant. Looking good. They're freshly transplanted, so they're struggling a little bit, but they'll take off. Let me turn this water off. This is our latest planting of lettuce. It's looking really good. And cabbages. We got a planting of tatsoi over there behind the cabbages. So far, I'm not getting germination. It was planted the same time as the arugula. So I'm really hoping it germinates. It's a really nice crop. If you've never had tatsoi, you gotta try it. It's good. Got some beets here looking good. Probably start harvesting these red beets next week. And a whole planting of cabbages here along this bed. That's that new cilantro I was telling you about. It's all folded over, but as soon as it gets some, as soon as that water dries off, it'll perk back up. It's looking really good. This is that bed of tatsoi. I don't see much activity. There's like a few things starting to pop up, but it looks pretty weak. I'll update you on that. We'll see. There's another crop of dill. Haven't cut that one yet. That's what we got growing. Thanks, y'all. Where'd he go? Did he get out? Oh, there he is. Yeah.
Ew. Did you use this on your finger? Oh.
Yeah, they stink.
That's disgusting.